Gems of Divine Mysteries, Part 2. Say, O people, the tree of life hath verily been planted in the heart of the heavenly paradise, and bestoweth life in every direction. How can ye fail to perceive and recognize it? It will in truth aid thee to grasp all that this well-assured soul hath disclosed unto thee of the essence of the divine mysteries. The dove of holiness warbleth in the heaven of immortality, and admonisheth thee to array thyself with a new vesture wrought of steel, to shield thee from the shafts of doubt concealed in the illusions of men, saying, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. Wing then thy flight unto this divine tree, and partake of its fruits. Gather up that which hath fallen therefrom, and guard it faithfully. Meditate then upon the utterance of one of the prophets, as he intimated to the souls of men through veiled illusions and hidden symbols the glad tidings of the one who was to come after him, that thou mayest know of a certainty that their words are inscrutable to all, save those who are endued with an understanding heart. He saith, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and brass-like were his feet, and out of his mouth goeth a two-edged sword. How could these words be literally interpreted? Were anyone to appear with all these signs, he would assuredly not be human. And how could any soul seek this company? Nay, should he appear in one city, even the inhabitants of the next would flee from him, nor would any soul dare approach him. Yet, shouldst thou reflect upon these statements, thou wouldst find them to be of such surpassing eloquence and clarity as to mark the loftiest heights of utterance and the epitome of wisdom. Methinks it is from them that the sons of eloquence have appeared, and the stars of clarity have dawned forth and shone resplendent. Behold then the foolish ones of bygone times, and those who in this day await the advent of such a being, nor would they ever bear allegiance unto him, except that he appear in the aforementioned form. And as such a being will never appear, so too will they never believe. Such indeed is the measure of the understanding of these perverse and ungodly souls. How could those who fail to understand the most evident of the evident and the most manifest of the manifest ever apprehend the abstruse realities of the divine precepts and the essence of the mysteries of his everlasting wisdom? I shall now briefly explain the true meaning of this utterance, that thou mayest discover its hidden mysteries and be of them that perceive. Examine then and judge aright that which we shall reveal unto thee, that haply thou mayest be accounted in the sight of God amongst those who are fair-minded in these matters. Know then that he who uttered these words in the realms of glory meant to describe the attributes of the one who is to come in such veiled and enigmatic terms as to elude the understanding of the people of error. Now, when he saith, his eyes were as a flame of fire, he alludeth but to the keenness of sight and acuteness of vision of the promised one, who, with his eyes, burneth away every veil and covering, maketh known the eternal mysteries in the contingent world, and distinguish the faces that are obscured with the dust of hell from those that shine with the light of paradise. Were his eyes not made of the blazing fire of God, how could he consume every veil and burn away all that the people possess? How could he behold the signs of God in the kingdom of his names and in the world of creation? How could he see all things with the all-perceiving eye of God? Thus we have conferred upon him a penetrating vision in this day. Would that ye believe in the verses of God. For indeed, what fire is fiercer than this flame that shineth in the Sinai of his eyes? For indeed, what fire is fiercer than this flame that shineth in the Sinai of his eyes, whereby he consumeth all that hath veiled the peoples of the world? Immeasurably exalted shall God remain above all that have been revealed in his unerring tablets, concerning the mysteries of the beginning and the end, until that day when the crier will cry out, the day whereon we shall all return unto him. As to the words brass-like were his feet, This is meant his constancy upon hearing the call of God that commandeth him, Be thou steadfast as thou hast been bidden. He shall so persevere in the cause of God and evince such firmness in the path of his might, that even if all the powers of earth and heaven were to deny him, he would not waver in the proclamation of his cause, nor flee from his command in the promulgation of his laws. Nay, rather, he will stand as firm as the highest mountains and the loftiest peaks. He will remain immovable in his obedience to God and steadfast in revealing his cause and proclaiming his word. No obstacle will hinder him, nor will the censure of the froward deter him, or the repudiation of the infidels cause him to waver. All the hatred, the rejection, the iniquity, and the unbelief that he witnesseth serve but to strengthen his love for God, to augment the yearning of his heart, to heighten the exaltation of his soul, and to fill his breast with passionate devotion. Hast thou ever seen in this world brass stronger, or blade sharper, or mountain more unyielding than this? He shall verily stand upon his feet to confront all the inhabitants of the earth, and will fear no one, notwithstanding that which, as thou well knowest, the people are wont to commit. Glory be to God, who hath established him and called him forth. Potent is God to do what he pleaseth. He in truth is the help in peril, the self-subsisting. And he further saith, Out of his mouth goeth a two-edged sword. Know thou that since the sword is an instrument that divideth and cleaveth asunder, and since there proceedeth from the mouth of the prophets and the chosen ones of God that which separateth the believer from the infidel, and the lover from the beloved, this term hath been so employed, and apart from this, dividing and separating, no other meaning is intended. Thus, when he who is the primal point and the eternal Son desireth, by the leave of God, to gather together all creation, to raise them up from the graves of their own selves, and to divide them one from another, he shall pronounce but one verse from him, and this verse will distinguish truth from error from this day until the day of resurrection. What sword is sharper than this heavenly sword? What blade more trenchant than this incorruptible steel that severeth every tie, and separateth thereby the believer from the infidel, father from son, brother from sister, and lover from beloved? For whoso believeth in that which has been revealed unto him is a true believer, and whoso turneth away is an infidel. And such an irrevocable separation occurreth between them that they will cease to consort and associate with each other in this world. And so it is between father and son. For should the son believe and the father deny, they will be severed and forever dissociated from each other. Nay, rather, thou witnessest how the son slayeth the father, and the father the son. Consider in the same light all that we have explained and related unto thee. Wert thou to behold all things with the eye of discernment, thou wouldst indeed see that this divine sword doth cleave asunder generations. Would that ye could understand it. All this is by the virtue of the word of separation that is manifested on the day of judgment and separation. Were the people to take heed in the days of their Lord, nay, couldst thou but sharpen thy sight and refine thy heart, thou wouldst witness that all the material swords which in every day and age have slain the infidels and waged war against the impious proceed from this divine and invisible sword. Open thine eyes, that thou mayest behold all that we have revealed to thee, and attain unto that which none other hath attained. We verily exclaim, Praise be to God, he who is the Lord of the day of reckoning. Yea, inasmuch as these people have failed to acquire true knowledge from its source and wellspring, and from the ocean of fresh and soft-flowing waters that stream by the leave of God, through hearts that are pure and stainless, they have been veiled from that which God hath intended by those words and illusions, and have remained confined within the prison of their own selves. We render thanks unto God for that which he hath bestowed upon us of his grace. He it is who hath caused us to be assured of the truth of his faith, a faith which the combined forces of the earth and heaven are powerless to resist. He it is who hath enabled us to acknowledge him in the day of his presence, to testify unto him whom God shall make manifest in the latter resurrection, and to be among them that have believed in him ere his appearance, that his favor may be made complete unto us and unto all mankind. But hear, O my brother, my plaint against them that claim to be associated with God and with the manifestations of his knowledge, and yet follow their corrupt inclinations, consume the substance of their neighbor, and are given to wine, commit murder, defraud and slander each other, hurl calumnies against God, and are wont to speak falsely. The people attribute all these deeds unto us, whilst the perpetrators remain shameless before God. They cast aside that which he hath enjoined upon them, and commit that which he hath forbidden. Yet it behooveth the people of truth that the signs of humility should shine upon their faces, that the light of sanctity should radiate from their countenances, that they should walk upon the earth as though they were in the presence of God, and distinguish themselves in their deeds from all the dwellers of the earth. Such must be their state, that their eyes should behold the evidences of his might, their tongues and hearts make mention of his name, their feet be set towards the lands of his nearness, and their hands take fast hold upon his precepts. And were they to pass through a valley of pure gold and mines of precious silver, they should regard them as wholly unworthy of their attention. These people, however, have turned aside from all this, and placed instead their affections upon that which accordeth with their own corrupt inclinations. Thus do they roam in the wilderness of arrogance and pride. I bear witness at this moment that God is wholly quit of them, and likewise are we. We beseech God to suffer us not to associate with them, either in this life or in the life to come. He verily is the eternal truth. No God is there but him, and his might is equal to all things. Quaff then, O my brother, from the living waters that we have caused to flow in the oceans of these words. Methinks the seas of grandeur are surging within them, and the gems of divine virtue are shining within and upon them. Divest then thyself of that which debarreth thee from this fathomless crimson sea, and to the cry of, in the name of God and by his grace, immerse thyself therein. Let the fear of no one dismay thee. Trust in the Lord thy God, for he is sufficient unto whosoever trusteth in him. He verily shall protect thee, and in him shalt thou abide in safety. Know thou moreover that in this most hallowed and resplendent city thou shalt find the wayfarer to be lowly before all men, and humble before all things. For naught doth he behold, save that he perceiveth God therein. He beholdeth the effulgent glories of God, and the lights of his revelation, that have encompassed the Sinai of creation. In this station the wayfarer must not claim the seat of honor in any gathering, or walk before others in the desire to vaunt and exalt himself. Rather must he regard himself as standing at all times in the presence of his Lord. He must not wish for anyone that which he doth not wish for himself, nor speak that which he would not bear to hear spoken by another, nor yet desire for any soul that which he would not have desired for himself. It befitteth him rather to walk upon the earth with undeviating steps in the kingdom of his new creation. Know, however, that the seeker at the outset of his journey witnesseth change and transformation, as hath already been mentioned. This is undoubtedly the truth, as have been revealed concerning those days, on the day when the earth shall be changed into another earth. These are indeed days the like of which no mortal eye hath ever seen. Blessed is he that attaineth thereunto, and realizeth their full worth. We had sent Moses with our signs, saying unto him, Bring forth thy people from darkness into light, and remind them of the days of God. And these are, in truth, the days of God, could ye but know it. In this station all changing and varying realities are manifest before thee. Whosoever denieth this truth hath verily turned aside from the cause of God, rebelled against his rule, and gainsaid his sovereignty. For it is indeed within the power of him who changeth the earth into another earth, to transform all that dwell and move thereon. Wherefore marvel not at how he turneth darkness into light, light into darkness, ignorance into knowledge, error into guidance, death into life, and life into death. It is in this station that the law of transformation taketh effect. Ponder thereon, if thou be of them that tread this path, that all thou didst ask of this lowly one may be made plain unto thee, and that thou mayest abide within the tabernacle of this guidance. For he doeth whatsoever he willeth, and ordaineth whatsoever he pleaseth, nor shall he be asked of his doings, whilst all men will be asked of their every deed. O my brother, in this stage which marketh the beginning of the journey, thou shalt behold diverse stations and differing signs, even as was mentioned in connection with the city of search. All these hold true in their respective planes. It behoveth thine eminence in this station to consider each created thing in its own place, neither abasing nor exalting its true rank. For instance, if thou were to reduce the unseen world to the realm of creation, this would be an act of sheer blasphemy, and the converse would likewise be the essence of impiety. Wert thou, however, to describe the unseen world and the realm of creation within their own stations, this would be the undoubted truth. In other words, wert thou to witness any transformation in the realm of the divine unity, no greater sin could be conceived in all creation. But wert thou to consider transformation in its own place and understand it accordingly, no harm could befall thee. By my Lord, notwithstanding all that we have revealed unto thee of the mysteries of utterance and the degrees of exposition, methinks I have spoken not a single letter of the ocean of God's hidden knowledge and the essence of his inscrutable wisdom. God willing, this we shall ere long accomplish in its appointed time. He verily remembereth all things in their own place, and we in truth all yield praise unto him. Know thou moreover that the bird that taketh flight in the atmosphere of the realm on high will never be able to soar unto the heaven of transcendent holiness, nor taste of the fruits which God hath brought forth therein, nor quaff from the streams which he hath caused to flow in its midst. And were it to partake but a drop thereof, it would perish forthwith, even as thou dost witness in these days with regard to those who profess allegiance unto us, and yet perform such deeds, utter such words, and advance such claims as they have. Methinks they lie as dead within their own veils. Comprehend in like manner every station, sign, and illusion, that thou mayest perceive all things in their own place, and consider all matters in their proper light. For in this station, the city of divine unity, are to be found those who have entered within the ark of divine guidance, and journeyed through the heights of divine unity. Thou shalt behold the lights of beauty upon their faces, and the mysteries of glory in their human temples. Thou shalt perceive the musk-laden fragrance of their words, and behold the signs of his sovereignty in all their ways and doings. Nor wilt thou be veiled by the deeds of them that have failed to quaff from the crystal springs, or to attain unto the cities of holiness, and who follow their selfish desires and spread disorder in the land, all while believing themselves to be guided aright. It is indeed of them that it hath been said, these are the abject and the foolish, who follow every clamorous impostor, and who bend with every changing wind. The stages of this journey, station, and abode are clear and manifest to thee, and require no further explanation. Know then that all thou hast heard and witnessed, that day star of truth, the primal point ascribed to himself from the designations of former times, is only on account of the weakness of men and the scheme of the world of creation. Otherwise, all names and attributes revolve around his essence and circle about the threshold of his sanctuary. For he it is who traineth all names, revealeth all attributes, conferreth life upon all beings, proclaimeth the divine verses, and arrayeth the heavenly signs. Nay, shouldst thou gaze with thine inner eye, thou wouldst find that all save him fade into utter nothingness, and are as a thing forgotten in his holy presence. God was alone, and there was none else besides him. He remaineth now what he had ever been. Since it hath been established that God, hallowed and glorified be he, was alone and there was none besides him, how can the law of change and transformation apply here? Shouldst thou reflect upon that which we have disclosed unto thee, the day star of guidance would shine resplendent before thee in this everlasting morn, and thou wouldst be numbered therein with the pious. Know moreover that all that we have mentioned concerning these journeys is intended for none but the elect amongst the righteous. And shouldst thou spur on the charger of the Spirit and traverse the meads of heaven, thou wouldst complete all these journeys and discover every mystery in less than the twinkling of an eye. O my brother, if thou be a champion of this arena, speed within the lands of certitude, that thy soul may be delivered in this day from the bondage of misbelief, and that thou mayest perceive the sweet savors that waft from this garden. Verily, the perfume-laden breezes that carry the fragrance of this city blow over all regions. Forfeit not thy portion thereof, and be not of the heedless. How well hath it been said, his fragrant breath, diffused in eastern lands, could well to sick ones in the west restore their sense of smell. After this heavenly journey and mystical ascent, the wayfarer will enter within the garden of wonderment. Were I to disclose unto thee the reality of this station, thou wouldst lament and bewail the plight of this servant, who remaineth in the hands of these infidels, who hath grown perplexed at his plight, and is lost in bewilderment in this fathomless ocean. They conspire each day to put me to death, and seek at every hour to banish me from this land, even as they banished me from another land. Yet this servant standeth ready before them, awaiting whatsoever the Almighty hath ordained and decreed for us. Nor do I fear any soul, encompassed as we may be by such trials and tribulations as are inflicted by the wicked and the malicious, and surrounded at this hour by a myriad woes and sorrows. Noah's flood is but the measure of the tears I have shed, and Abraham's fire an ebullition of my soul. Jacob's grief is but a reflection of my sorrows, and Job's afflictions a fraction of my calamity. Were I to recount unto thine eminence the dire adversities that have befallen me, thou wouldst be so grieved as to forsake the mention of all things, to forget thyself and all that the Lord hath created on earth. But as this is not our wish, I have concealed the revelation of the divine decree in the heart of Baha, and veiled it from the eyes of all that move in the realm of creation, that it may lie hid within the tabernacle of the unseen, until such time as God will have revealed its secret. Not in the heavens or on the earth can escape his knowledge, and he verily perceiveth all things. As we have digressed from our theme, let us leave aside these allusions and return to our discussion of this city. Verily, whoso entereth therein shall be saved, and whoso turneth aside therefrom will assuredly perish. O thou who art mentioned in these tablets, know thou that he who embarketh upon this journey will marvel at the signs of the power of God and the wondrous evidences of his handiwork. Bewilderment will seize him from every side, even as hath been attested by that essence of immortality from the concourse on high. Increase my wonder and amazement at thee, O God. Well hath it been said, I knew not what amazement was until I made thy love my cause. Or how amazing would it be if I were not amazed by thee. In this valley the wayfarers stray and perish ere they attain their final abode. Gracious God, so immense is this valley, so vast this city in the kingdom of creation, that it seemeth to have neither beginning nor end. How great the blessedness of him who completeth his journey therein, and who traverseth through the assistance of God the hallowed soil of this heavenly city, a city in which the favored ones of God and the pure in heart are overcome with wonder and awe. And we say, Praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds. And should the servant ascend to even loftier heights, quit this mortal world of dust, and seek to ascend unto the celestial abode, he will then pass from this city into the city of absolute nothingness, that is, of dying to self and living in God. In this station, this most exalted habitation, this journey of utter self-effacement, the wayfarer forgetteth his soul, spirit, body, and very being, immerseth himself in the sea of nothingness, and liveth on earth as one unworthy of mention, nor will one find any sign of his existence, for he hath vanished from the realm of the visible and attained unto the heights of self-abnegation. Were we to recount the mysteries of this city, the dominions of the hearts of men would be laid to waste in the intensity of their longing for this mighty station. But this is the station wherein the effulgent glories of the beloved are revealed to the sincere lovers, and the resplendent lights of the friend are cast upon the severed heart that is devoted to him. How can a true lover continue to exist when once the effulgent glories of the beloved are revealed? How can the shadow endure when once the sun has shone forth? How can a devoted heart have any being before the existence of the object of its devotion? Nay, by the one in whose hand is my soul, in this station the seeker's complete surrender and utter effacement before his Creator will be such that were he to search the east and the west, and traverse land, sea, mountain, and plain, he would find no trace of his own self or of any other soul. Gracious God, but for the fear of the Nimrod of tyranny, for the protection of the Abraham of justice, I would reveal unto thee that which, wert thou to abandon self and desire, would enable thee to dispense with aught else, and to draw nigh unto this city. Be patient, however, until such a time as God will have proclaimed his cause. He verily rewardeth beyond measure them that endure with patience. Inhale then the sweet savors of the Spirit from the garment of hidden meanings, and say, O ye that are immersed in the ocean of selflessness, hasten to enter the city of immortality if ye seek to ascend its heights. And we exclaim, Verily we are God's, and to him shall we return. From this most august and exalted station, and from this most sublime and glorious plain, the seeker entereth the city of immortality, therein to abide forever. In this station he beholdeth himself established upon the throne of independence, in the seat of exaltation. Then will he comprehend the meaning of that which hath been revealed of old, concerning the day whereon God shall enrich all through his abundance. Well is it with them that have attained unto this station, and drunk their fill from the snow-white chalice before the crimson pillar. Having, in this journey, immersed himself in the ocean of immortality, rid his heart from attachment to aught save him, and attained unto the loftiest heights of everlasting life, the seeker will see no annihilation either for himself or for any other soul. He will quaff from the cup of immortality, tread in its land, soar in its atmosphere, consort with them that are its embodiments, partake of the imperishable and incorruptible fruits of the tree of eternity, and be forever accounted in the lofty heights of immortality amongst the denizens of the everlasting realm. All that exists in this city shall indeed endure and will never perish. Shouldst thou, by the leave of God, enter this sublime and exalted garden, thou wouldst find its sun in its noontime glory, never to be set, never to be eclipsed. The same holdeth true of its moon, its firmament, its stars, trees, and oceans, and of all that pertaineth thereunto or existeth therein, by him besides whom there is none other God. Were I to recount from this day unto the end that hath no end its wondrous attributes, the love that my heart cherishes for this hallowed and everlasting city would never be exhausted. I shall, however, bring my theme to a close, since time is short and the inquirer impatient, and since these secrets are not to be openly divulged, save by the leave of God, the Almighty, the All-Compelling. Ere long shall the faithful behold in the day of the latter resurrection him whom God shall make manifest, descending with this city from the heaven of the unseen, together with the company of his exalted and favored angels. Great therefore is the blessedness of him that exclaimed, Praise be unto him, for verily he is the eternal truth, and unto him do we return. Know moreover that should one who hath attained unto these stations, and embarked upon these journeys, fall prey to pride and vainglory, he would at that very moment come to naught and return to the first step without realizing it. Indeed, they that seek and yearn after him in these journeys are known by this sign, that they humbly defer to those who have believed in God and in his verses, that they are lowly before those who have drawn nigh unto him and unto the manifestations of his beauty, and they bow in submission to them that are firmly established upon the lofty heights of the cause of God before its majesty. For were they to reach the ultimate object of their quest for God and their attainment unto him, they would have but reached that abode which hath been raised up within their own hearts. How then could they ever hope to ascend into such realms as have not been ordained for them or created for their station? Nay, though they journey from everlasting to everlasting, they will never attain unto him who is the midmost heart of existence and the access of this entire creation. He on whose right hand flow the seas of grandeur, on whose left stream the rivers of might, in whose court none can ever hope to reach, how much less his very abode? For he dwelleth in the ark of fire, speedeth in the sphere of fire, through the ocean of fire, and moveth within the atmosphere of fire. How can he who hath been fashioned of contrary elements ever enter or even approach this fire? Were he to do so, he would be instantly consumed. Know moreover that should the cord of assistance binding this mighty pivot to the dwellers of earth and heaven be severed, they would all assuredly perish. Great God, how can the lowly dust ever reach unto him who is the Lord of lords? Immeasurably exalted is God above that which they conceive in their hearts, and immensely glorified is he beyond that which they attribute to him. Yea, the seeker reacheth the station wherein that which hath been ordained for him knoweth no bounds. The fire of love so blazeth in his heart that it seizeth the reins of constraint from his grasp. At every moment his love for his Lord increaseth, and draweth him nearer unto his Creator, in such wise that if his Lord be in the east of nearness, and he dwell in the west of remoteness, possess all that earth and heaven contain of rubies and gold, he would forsake it all and rush forth to the land of the desired one. And shouldst thou find him to be otherwise, know assuredly that such a man is a lying impostor. We verily all belong unto him whom God shall make manifest in the latter resurrection, and through him shall we be raised again to life. In these days, inasmuch as we have lifted not the veils that conceal the countenance of the cause of God, nor disclosed unto men the fruits of these stations, which we have been forbidden to describe, thou beholdest them drunk with heedlessness. Otherwise were the glory of this station to be revealed unto men to an extent smaller than a needle's eye, thou wouldst witness them gathering before the threshold of divine mercy, and hastening from all sides to the court of nearness in the realms of divine glory. We have concealed it, however, as mentioned before, that those who believe may be distinguished from them that deny, and that those who turn unto God may be discerned from them that have turned aside. I verily proclaim, there is no power nor strength except in God, the help in peril, the self-subsisting. From this station the wayfarer ascendeth unto a city that hath no name or description, and whereof one heareth neither sound nor mention. Therein flow the oceans of eternity, whilst this city itself revolveth around the seat of eternity. Therein the sun of the unseen shineth resplendent above the horizon of the unseen, a sun that hath its own heavens and its own moons, which partake of its light, and which rise from and set upon the ocean of the unseen. Nor can I ever hope to impart even a dewdrop of that which hath been decreed therein, as none is acquainted with its mysteries save God, its creator and fashioner, and his manifestations. Know, moreover, that when we undertook to reveal these words and committed some of them to writing, it was our intention to elucidate for thine eminence in the sweet accents of the blessed and the well-favored of God all that we have previously mentioned of the words of the prophets and the sayings of the messengers. Time, however, was lacking, and the traveler who came from thy presence was in great haste and eager to return. Thus have we cut short our discourse and contented ourselves with this much, without completing the description of these stages in a seemly and befitting manner. Indeed, we have omitted the description of major cities and mighty journeys. Such was the haste of the courier that we even forsook the mention of the two exalted journeys of resignation and contentment. Yet, should thine eminence reflect upon these brief statements, thou wouldst assuredly acquire every knowledge, attain unto the object of all learning, and exclaim, sufficient are these words unto all creation, both visible and invisible. Even so, should the fire of love burn within thy soul, thou wouldst ask, is there yet any more? And we say, praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds.